When it comes to protecting your privacy on Facebook, we've seen that you can hide certain portions of your profile from people who are searching for you, or who may just stumble across your account while surfing around. But another type of threat to your privacy are people who are deliberately attempting to break into other people's accounts, either to steal their Facebook identity or just to cause general mischief. One way these hackers can do this is to perform what are called sniffing attacks on public networks. For example, if you're using Facebook on a free Wi-Fi network at your local coffee shop, there could be someone else sitting there in the shop with software designed to capture the data being transmitted over the network, including the information that's being sent to and from your computer. A common way websites combat attacks like this is through the HTTPS protocol. Normally, on most websites where there isn't a huge concern about protecting information, the regular protocol of HTTP is used. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, not that you need to know that, but it's the language that browsers and web pages speak in order to send and receive information to each other. For example, if I go to yahoo.com, notice the full address here is http://www.yahoo.com. And that's fine because all I'm doing on this page is maybe reading some news headlines. So if I click to read an article, say this one here, it still says HTTP here. But if I decide to check my Yahoo Mail, notice the protocol switches to HTTPS. That S stands for secure, and this means that the data being transmitted to and from this website is being encrypted now. So even if I were on a public network and there was a hacker nearby who intercepted some of my information, they still wouldn't be able to read it because of the encryption. If I go to a bank's website like wellsfargo.com, notice the full address here is HTTPS right away, because a banking website needs to have an extra layer of security at all times. You can also tell you're on an encrypted connection when you see a little lock icon appear in your browser window. Pretty much all browsers will show a lock icon of some sort when you're on a secure website. So what does this all have to do with Facebook? Well, in January of 2011, Facebook added a security feature that lets you use the website through HTTPS all the time. Turning on this feature not only protects your login information, but also protects all the other information you send and receive from the site. For example, direct messages you send to your friends or posts you make on their walls. So I'll go back to Facebook. Notice the protocol right now is HTTP. To turn HTTPS on, go to Account, Account Settings. Notice when you're in Account Settings, Facebook automatically switches to the HTTPS setting for security. So here we'll find Account Security, and I'm going to click Change to open that up. And the first option here is Secure Browsing HTTPS. So I'm going to check that option and click Save. When I go back to my home page, you can see the setting is HTTPS. And no matter where else I go on Facebook, if I go to Elizabeth's profile, it's also still HTTPS. And it will continue to be HTTPS, so I can worry less about anything I do on Facebook being intercepted. Again, using regular HTTP is usually a concern when connected to a public network, but there's really no harm in keeping HTTPS on all the time, so you don't have to remember to do it each time you use Facebook on a public network. And you never know if someone is sitting outside your home or office sniffing on your network, so this is just a good precaution to take in general. Now, in the future, Facebook intends to make HTTPS the default whenever you log on, but for now it's an option to turn on and off. But again, I recommend just having it on all the time. The HTTPS protocol does make web pages take slightly longer to load, but the difference is pretty negligible, especially when you consider that anytime you bank online or check your email through a web browser, you're doing so over HTTPS anyway, and you've probably never noticed a major speed difference. And even if you did notice a slight difference, it's definitely worth it for the added layer of security.